Welcome to the Win, Make, Give podcast. Chad Hyams here, Bob Stewart there, and put an X in your center square because it's the free space on the bingo card. Bob Stewart, how are you doing today?
Do we have a bingo game?
We don't have a bingo card yet. Right. Yeah, we're working on it. Audience, if you missed it, there is a post in our Facebook group. Just search Win, Make, Give if you're not already a member of it, where we're asking you for things that should go on the bingo card. I think a really rare one would be Bob opening the podcast episode, right? Because that happens once in every 4 years.
That's only happened once, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. And if Ben shows up, he steals it from me. Yet otherwise, I think they're relying on it coming from me. Bob, what's going on in your world?
What? Are you just asking? You're just starting this podcast by asking me how I'm doing?
As I usually do.
That's super sweet. No, I don't know if you do it every time. You basically say like, I'm over here and he's over there. What's going on over there or something? But it sounds like today you're asking me how I'm doing, not just what's going on around me.
Oh, well, all right, fine. Bob, how are you?
I'm good, Chad. I'm good. Is that like kind of the default answer? Just I'm good.
Sure, yeah. After all that and getting me to care about you, Bob, I just got an I'm good. Folks, how many times do we get that, right? It's frustrating and we just walk by and we just keep going. Bob, I'm just going to keep on going from that. I do want to give a plug before we dive in. As usually we do, we babble for a few minutes. We have some fun depending on what you're talking about, how you answer my question, or who our guest might be. Today, it's none of those things. Yet, Bob, I want you to take 30 seconds. I want you to plug the newest podcast in the Win, Make, Give world. It's kind of different than all the other podcasts in the Win, Make, Give world. What's the new podcast
you talking about Cardboard Wars?
Cardboard Wars. Tell our audience about it. They might, for some reason, want to play along.
A little group of us over the last couple of years have gotten debilitatingly addicted to baseball cards. And that's the best description I can give. And so we started a little podcast because we enjoy opening our baseball cards. And so now we're enjoying talking about them. And so, we do we've been doing about an episode a week, Chad, where we go and we talk about like some iconic card from the past. So we've done an episode on the 86 Michael Jordan Fleer rookie card. We've done an episode on, the Ken Griffey Jr. 89 Upper Deck. We did one on the 2000 Tom Brady Bowman Chrome rookie card. I think the next one that's going to drop is like the 1952 Mickey Mantle card, which is kind of the iconic card of post-war baseball card collecting. And
Bob, I have an episode I want to hear.
All right, what do you got?
And I don't care if it's just Billy Ripken or if it's all the error cards as an episode in whole.
So Kevin is absolutely a big proponent of that. So that we'll do an error card one. I think the Billy Ripken, which is kind of the error card of our youth, the F face, right, that he wrote.
Yeah, I don't know that it's actually an error card except for the printer missing it. I think it was personal.
It was. Well, the story, actually, I saw the story of him recently. What the story was is that he wrote that on the bottom of his practice bat that he would do batting practice with. And so when you go, into the bat rack and there's, 100 bats in there, he wanted a way to easily be able to grab his practice bat. And so he's like, he just happened to have his practice bat in his hand the day that they had team photos where the photographer came up to him and said, hey, let's get a shot of you for the baseball card or whatever. And so he just had that bat in his hand. And he's like, I didn't even realize that was the bat I had in my hand. It was just, I had marked that on there so I could easily pull it out of the bat rack. But
yeah, folks, if you don't know, there was a very bad word on it at that time that then us kids got very excited about, because back then you didn't use words like that as freely.
You didn't see them anywhere either. There was no internet for us to see that word every day on.
That's right. So error cards were fun to find the things that were wrong with them. Bob, I look forward to hearing folks. Just go search for Cardboard Wars. Check it out. Listen to our friends babble. I'm surprised that some of you that have become baseball card collecting fanatics, you have bigger fish to fry in life. Okay, we are going to focus today on something different. Bob, we just finished our Mindset Shift series, and in that series, our last episode was sticking with me, right? Our last episode, we went from outcome to process and the discipline shift, as we called it. And that's been in the back of my mind since we recorded it. And then I heard this proverb. Now, I did not know that it was a Tanzanian proverb, yet I heard this proverb which says, little by little, a little becomes a lot. Little by little, a little becomes a lot. And it's okay. We have to focus on the littles that become a lot. So today we're going to talk about micro decisions. That's right. Those little tiny decisions that you make that actually become these big things. Because Bob, most people think success or failure is from one big decision, right? He made that choice. She made that choice and completely failed or completely succeeded because of it. And the truth is, it's those daily choices, those little small choices we make that add up to everything, to that lot that we're talking about. That's what I want to talk about today on this episode.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, so have you had a micro decision? And it might be that I bought my first baseball card and now look what it's turned into. But have you had a micro decision that has become something that had a huge ripple effect and impact on your world?
You know what's funny? So that was not what I was going to start with, but I'll start there. I did make a micro decision to buy a box of baseball cards a couple of years ago for my sons for Christmas. And I went in and it wasn't like, it wasn't a planned decision either. Like I was just trying to find something. I was out shopping in December, right? I'm like, I need one more thing for the boys. And I'd gone to this little, this little shopping area kind of near our house. There's a bookstore up top is why I'd gone there. And I think I found a book, but I'm like, I need something else. I'm like, what else is in this shopping center? I'd never been downstairs in this shopping center. It always looked kind of like there was nothing down there really. But you know what is down there? And this is actually what drew me down there. I wanted to get a look at it. The original Santa in the mall set. So in the 1950s here in Seattle, the Frederick and Nelson in Seattle had the very first Santa set, Chad, where you could go to the mall and get your picture taken with Santa. It was the first one in the United States. The actual set of that they had.
Is that only because it was so close to the North Pole there that Santa could get there? He couldn't get everywhere at that time?
Yeah, must be. He was only showing up in Seattle back then. Sure. But the set that they had, and back in Frederick and Nelson in the 50s, the set was actually in the window. And so you would get your Santa photos taken and people walking by on the street and they could see you. Anyway, that set is downstairs in December at that Lake Forest Park shopping center. And you can get your picture taken with a Santa on that original Santa set from Frederick and Nelson from the 1950s. So I'm like, oh, it's down there. I'm going to go check that Santa. I'd heard it's in this building. Let me go look at it. Well, I go downstairs and there's a baseball card shop down there. And I had not been in a baseball card shop, Chad, for 30 years, more. I don't know, like since I was a teenager probably, right? But I walk in there, there's this guy in there, and I get, he's the owner. I get into a conversation with him, and I end up buying a box of baseball cards. And I don't know anything about baseball cards today. They're a lot different than we were kids. And I bring them home, and we wrap them up, and it's a gift. And the boys and I open them on Christmas morning, and we pull out of the box a Ken Griffey Jr. autographed patch card. And now it was a redemption, and there's a whole story around what redemptions mean. But anyway, and my boys are like going crazy. I was kind of going crazy. Like it was like the coolest thing, right? But that decision to go buy that box of cards turned into the last 2 years where I've been doing it with my boys. Ben's doing it. Like there's a bunch of our friends that have kind of, reignited their passion from our childhood, right, around collecting baseball cards.
You got a whole bunch of them on the wall right there beside you.
I do. I've got them there. You can see them. I've got them over here on my desk. I've got them up here in front of me. I've got a Babe Ruth one now, and I've got Willie Mays, but it was one small decision. Like it was a micro decision to buy that box, and it's really rippled out. And look, Ben hates when I share his stories, but he has made like a real impact in that community as a result of me buying that box. And it ended up later, I bought a box of cards for Ben that were it sparked him. And we had another friend that was getting into it. And just, I don't know, it's crazy to look back and think like that one little decision to walk into that baseball card shop, not even on purpose, right? Like led to a whole series of kind of events.
Micro decision, right? And I will bet money that before this card collecting thing became a thing for Ben, he couldn't have named who 99% of those people were if you told them like the name of the people, he'd be like, who's that?
And now he knows more about WNBA basketball than maybe anybody in the country. Like it's impressive. I have
if you want to follow him, he's got a handle where he focuses on just this stuff, correct?
Yeah, Ben Rippin.
Okay, check him out on Instagram. Anyway. We'll give our boy Ben a plug there. Okay, so that was a micro decision, Bob.
Here, I got a better one. Can I give you a better one? You kind of set me up for. You said the baseball.
Yeah, absolutely.
That wasn't actually
you got another one.
Well, I started having an automatic deposit over to my Robinhood account.
Yep.
And that wasn't like super recently, by the way, but it was a really good decision. And then I've got a couple of like auto kind of purchases. So it's like it auto transfers in there. And I've got a few stocks that I've been auto purchasing. And it's not a big amount of money each month, Chad. It's a couple $100s, but it's been consistently happening. It was a decision I made a couple of years ago. I put it on kind of automate. Right. So now it's a micro decision that's just made for me every month. Yep. And the stocks that it's going to buy are made for me every month. And it's doing really well.
I'll put you on the spot. Do you know, or can you ballpark the percentage of return on investment that this small micro decision has created for you? You don't have to give us the, Chad, I've invested X dollars and now I have X dollars. We don't need to get into your money. Yet, Can you give me a percentage return?
I can. It is substantial. Where did it go though? Where is it? Why is my?
Okay, while Bob's doing some math.
Oh, there it is. 345%.
Folks, how would you like to have made a 345% return on whatever investment you made? You put in $1, that's $345, right? Forget if you put in a few hundred or maybe a few thousand, it's added up to now. Yet a micro decision, look how it's impacted. Bob, we were just on a cruise. I don't know when this will necessarily drop yet. In real life, Nita and I were just on a cruise for her 60th birthday. And we went into these shops. So they have high-end shops on the cruises where they sell watches and jewelry and all that kind of stuff. Because it was Nita's milestone birthday. She became classic, as we refer to it. I won't put the age out there. She just officially became classic, we're calling it. So I wanted to buy her a gift, and she didn't know what she wanted. And I'm not a big jewelry person when it comes to that, because I really want her to want it more than me to surprise her with it. We went on this cruise, and then we decided they had classes. Like they were teaching you, is a lab-grown diamond real? And they were teaching about that. They were teaching about certain watch brands. They were teaching about certain jewelry companies and stuff. And they would give you free drinks. So we went to like all these classes to learn all these things. Nita did get, we won't get into it, but she did get a very nice 60th birthday presents.
You slipped.
Oh yeah, right. Presents.
No. You said the number. You said you were going to call her classic.
Oh yeah, her age. Well, that's okay, because she doesn't look anywhere near it. The guys in the store didn't believe it. Yet I got my first luxury watch.
Okay.
Like I went and got a watch. Now, Bob, I have become obsessed. It was a micro decision to go to the store to buy her a small gift, which turned into more than a small gift and turned into me becoming completely obsessed the way you guys have with your baseball cards again about watches. I am starting a blog just on watches and teaching that stuff. I don't know if I'll get into a podcast on it yet. I'm doing a whole bunch. I've become obsessed with this one micro decision that's going to lead me to changing my collection, changing my style on things. That's going to help me make money because of resales in the watch world, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Folks, one micro decision can ripple and change your whole life, whether it becomes a baseball card, a watch, whether it becomes a choice to put some money into something. And we're going to talk today about health, wealth, leadership, and legacy. That is what Win, Make, Give is all about, Bob. And I want to talk about some micro decisions that our audience might consider making in some of those areas. So the first area, always my favorite, yet it just happens to be the first area in the Win, Make, Give philosophy, and that's health, Bob.
Yeah.
So I know I'm the guy who's always talking health, yet let me put this to you. What are some micro decisions that you, our audience, have made, could made, should consider making that might ripple and become a huge effect in their life?
I mean, you could go real simple. Like you could just drink water.
Just as I'm drinking a glass of water.
Yeah, nobody can see us, but you like literally raised that thing and drank it as I said that. And by the way, that's not why I said it.
Right. Or why I drank it. It just worked out that way, folks.
Yeah,
you're right, Bob. If we just drink water, we can change our health for the long term completely. And studies show that percentage, and I don't have it handy right now, of the time we are hungry, we're actually really just thirsty. We're dehydrated. So think how much less we'll eat if we actually drank. Okay. What are some other micro decisions we could make, Bob, in the health world?
Daily walk.
Okay. That's a great one, right? Get up and move. 10,000 steps really means nothing. Hate to burst your bubble. We have a whole episode on the 15-point plan back in like season 1 or 2. That 10,000 steps really means nothing. Yet, Bob, if that matters to you and you do it every day, it will have a ripple effect over time.
Yeah. Consistent bedtime.
You gotten there yet?
No.
Bob, you do know the statistic that comes with it, right? That skipping just 30 minutes of sleep every night decreases your cognitive performance as though you were legally drunk.
Well, I guess it's a good thing I don't drink anymore, Chad.
There's another one, Bob, right? Drinking. I like a good glass of wine. I enjoy a good glass of wine. Yet a micro decision of I'm not going to drink tonight, what impact does that make on our whole day tomorrow? Doesn't mean you should give up drinking. I'm not condoning those who want to have a drink, and I'm not celebrating those who say I never drink. Okay. It's a choice you make. It's a micro decision you're making. Bob, those are some great examples.
Even like, I don't know. I remember at one point, probably in my 30s, like I used to like sugar cereals, you know? I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch was my favorite. Exactly. But like now if you were to go up there, it's not that anymore, right? It's like have you
gotten old and you went to the bran flakes, Bob?
Not quite that far, but I'm like in the middle stage, which is honey bunches of oats or whatever, right? So
I went through that stage.
There's some honey in there and a little
Catalina Crunch. I will recommend that one to you. Costco sells it at a great price. Catalina Crunch, if you're looking for the next cereal craze. It's not as sugary.
So that's the next extension after honey bunches of oats?
Yeah, before you then get to bran flakes. Yeah.
or what's the one my grandpa used to it's like a little grit of sand. No, what was the one? They were tiny little, just like rocks. I don't know. I'll remember it. Let's keep going. I'm actually going to go look it up now.
Bob's going to Google that. All right. So folks, there's some simple health micro decisions that you can make that we highly recommend. They're going to have a ripple effect. They're going to give you longevity. They're going to give you more flexibility. They're going to give you just better choices when it comes to things. They're going to make you have more energy by making the right micro decisions for you in the world of health. Did you find it yet before I go into wealth?
Grape nuts.
Grape nuts. Okay.
You remember those things?
I think they still have them, Bob.
They were like a tiny little like rock.
They were the pit. They were the seed that was in the grape. Yeah.
Is that what they are? They're
no,
grape
probably
seeds?
Not. Yeah, that's
what
probably
they
what
like,
they got their name.
That's the worst cereal ever, by the way. Grape nuts.
All right. We will have a poll. Worst cereal ever that you actually ate. Bob, let's move on to the next category and talk about some micro decisions in wealth. So you gave us a great one already. I mean, just a simple auto deposit. In your case, you went to Robinhood with it. You could go into an IRA with it. You could go into just a savings account that you never look at with it. Whatever it might be, could be a huge ripple effect in your wealth, right? You've gotten a 345% return on your investment in that situation. Now, it's not retirement money because you weren't investing that much, yet I don't know anybody who would say no to a 345% return on investment.
It's getting closer to retirement money.
There you go. All right, good. As long as it keeps compounding, you keep doing it. We'll be living wherever you put us all up. Give me some more micro decisions in the wealth world our audience might consider adapting and taking on in their world, Bob.
So I spend 30 minutes every evening, like looking at stock information. Like just researching, it's become a habit now. It's part of the reason that the couple stocks that I'm auto buying are, I did a little bit of research, and every night I'm generally kind of on the hunt for what is the next one that I'm going to invest in. So that by the way, that 15 to 30 minutes of research is the reason I bought the stocks that I'm getting into now, which is why it's up.
Was it always 30 minutes, or did it start as an even like it was just 5 minutes of looking at it, which turned into 10, which turned into?
So it used to be that it just, if I came across something, I'm a newspaper guy, Chad, and I don't read the newspaper, but I did as a kid coming up. Like I was a reader, right? And so now I have an app that I get my news from, but and I've got some lanes in there, right? Like I'm always on the look for business ideas. And so I've got a lane in there for the podcast, right? Or I've got my finance lane. And so it used to be that when I would just read about kind of finance in general, when I would see a company that I was like, oh, that's interesting, I would go like kind of one off and do the research. Today, I will set out most nights to like try to find something, or maybe I'm just continuing to research a company that I was looking into yesterday or whatever. But so that's
I guess we'll see how good a friend Bob really is if he shares next time.
So funny because
I will never listen to Ben's suggestions ever again after all the money we put into those stocks.
Okay, so you haven't Drew Lee, our friend Drew, he actually has shared some things with me over the years, and so I had gotten onto one that was came from this 30 minutes of research, and that I kind of do every
Celsius night. Were you the one that got him into Celsius?
No, I don't even want to say it on it's called Oklo, OKLO, but it's a fission nuclear reactor company. And anyway, I'm like, hey, you should try this one, Drew. The funny thing is I didn't know he trades stocks. I just buy them and sit on them, right? And so I told him that one, and then like 2 days later, he's like, he sends me, and it's like way down, and not way down, but like it was down, and he's like, real nice pick, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, do you not listen to the Wealth series? Like, we're holders of stock. Like, I buy the stock and I hold it for a while. Like, check back with me in 5 years, right? The funny thing is, about a month later, he sends it, and it's way up. And he's like, I'm kicking myself. This was just a week ago. He's like, I'm kicking myself that I didn't buy more of that. But that's one of the ones that I'm like auto buying into every month, because I did a bunch of research, which is a micro decision I made a while back that I'm just gonna. I want to be smarter about the investment decisions that I'm personally making.
Yes. And micro decisions don't have to be habits, right? Bob's doing that one as a routine. It could have been a one-off opportunity, right? A micro decision, maybe to do your net worth worksheet stuff that we talk about in the Win, Make, Give Wealth series podcast. You can go get it. Go to winmakegive.com/wealth. If you haven't listened to the second Wealth series where we updated everything, that can be a decision. You might make a small decision from that. Now, Bob, imagine this. We can tie health and wealth together. And I'm going to challenge us at the end. Can we find one micro decision that's health, wealth, leadership, and legacy somehow? Yet, what if you didn't get the latte you were going to get at Starbucks and you put that money into a stock? Now, all of a sudden, you've done good for your health and you've done good for your wealth, with one micro decision that day of buying Starbucks stock instead of a Starbucks product. I'm not advising you to buy Starbucks stock.
Could I wait? So let's run this out a little bit. Could I gift that $5 to my kids and then go put it in a stock for them, which would be wealth and legacy?
And leadership, because you're teaching your son how to do it along the way.
That's it. That was the forfecta, or whatever you call it.
There we go. There you go. All right. So we've got some health. We've got some wealth. Let's talk leadership. What are some micro decisions that fall into the world of leadership that our audience might consider, or that you've taken on yourself at some point?
Here, I'm gonna wrap it, because I've been doing this, and this is almost to your last thing, which is don't buy the $5 Starbucks thing. So our boys, they've got family and friends, and they get gifts, and sometimes they get money from those gifts. And sometimes they, like, one of our sons now folds all laundry, and we give him a little bit of an allowance to that. And what we started doing is the boys can use that money to buy stock. So we just started doing it recently. And so, this morning on the way to school, I owe both of my boys some money. And so I'd asked them, I said, hey, I'm going to go to the bank and grab that money for you. Do you want it in cash or would you rather put it in and buy stock? And both of them, it actually shocked me. The one of my kids, I'd kind of expected him to say stocks, and he did. The other one, though, I totally expected to be like, I want cash because I'm going to go buy a Roblox gift card to use on my iPad tonight. And he said stock too. So I'm not sure if, like, it's not my leadership skills. It's probably my wife's or a combination of the two of us. But like our boys are starting really, really early to make what I would say are much better decisions with their money than I would have made when I was friggin' 8 and 9 years old. Because you damn no sure I would have been like, give me the cash. I'm going to buy a pack of 1984 baseball cards. Like, so this is that's a micro decision, and wealth for those boys. They're starting to make them now. It's there's a little bit of a leadership decision there because I could have just given them the money and not presented these options to them. Maybe not the best answer for leadership as you rolled into that category, but I wanted to kind of tack that one on wealth. Yep.
So in leadership, folks, how about listening? Just that one decision to listen just another minute before you spoke could make an impact. How about as a leader, right, choosing to ask a question instead of giving an answer?
So can I double tap on that one for a second?
Absolutely.
Like that's I think the micro decision.
Is that the new expression instead of piggyback that we're going to double tap?
I don't know. I'm trying to be hip and young and cool. Is it working?
6'7" something. I don't know what that is.
6'7". Yeah, totally. Is it why did you say that? You totally threw my brain off when you said 6'7" because that's like all over our house, right? I was going to double tap on
your question.
Oh yeah. Like I think the micro decision.
Okay, that goes on the bingo card. Bob loses train of thought. Got it.
I think the micro decision is to ask one more clarifying question than you would have otherwise. Like that's the micro decision, right? To ask just one more clarifying question. Because if I do that, I'm going to have a little bit more insight into, what that person's in my office for or whatever, as we're talking about leadership, right? That's the micro step.
Yeah.
One more qualifying question.
Recognize one person for doing something that day, right? Those are things that make you become a leader. That'll have ripple effect. How many leaders don't recognize the people on their team? Just saying every day I'm going to recognize one person. That's a micro decision to publicly say, great work today, Bob, right? Now, all of a sudden, my leadership culture completely transforms. This ripple effect explodes out and goes elsewhere.
I'm pretty sure Ben does this. I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure every day he reaches out to one person in our organization, and it's generally a lot more. But I think like unprompted, he will reach out to somebody just to check in and see how they're doing. And I know that I have a sense he does that because he does it with me, right? Just kind of out of the blue, he'll be like, "Hey, it's been a while. How is everything? Do you need anything from me?" These unprompted check-ins from somebody that's kind of your leader are really valuable. And I feel like he's made that like a micro habit that he does where, he probably wakes up and he's got 7,000 text messages he could reply to, but he like purposely goes and finds somebody. And maybe it's because he's scrolling Facebook and he sees them and he goes, "Oh, I haven't talked to that person in a while." Maybe it's I forget the guy we had on the podcast. He just goes to the very bottom of his text messages and hits up somebody that he hasn't reached out to in a really long time. Right. I don't know what his
process is,
right? But I'm pretty sure he does it because it doesn't ever get too far away without him checking in. Checking in with me.
And Bob, that also could fall from leadership. It could also fall into our legacy category.
Yeah,
right. Because could you send a message to those people that are going to become part of your legacy? You're not his kid, right? You're not his family, yet you are absolutely part of the legacy that is Ben Kinney.
Absolutely.
When it all comes and is all said and done.
Yeah. Let's go to legacy. So I got a decent one for legacy. I think that was it was a decision that I made with help from my business partner at the time that came out of a place of frustration. And I've shared this story before, Chad. You know it for sure.
I already know what story you're going to tell.
Yeah. So I walk into Jonathan's office one day and I'm like, I'm running like the support side of our organization, and it's me. I'm not like running the support side of our organization. That would indicate that there were like 5 other people. No, like I did all the support work. I just did the job early on in our careers. And I was really frustrated one day. I'm like, this never ends. There's 1,000 tickets in there every day. Like I could work here for 24 hours a day and never get through this stuff. And he said, do yourself a favor. He said, just reach out to one person today that didn't ask for it. Like there's 1,000 people that need something, and yeah, we're going to get to them all. But go help one person that didn't ask for it. And I'm like, what? He's like, I got 1,000 people that did. Why would I go ask one person that didn't? He's like, I just think that if every day we just wowed one person who wasn't asking for it, we will look up. He's like, because I'm going to do it. He's like, you're going to do it. Mavis is going to do it. Who else did we have back then? I don't even remember some of the names, but they're going to do it, right? And he's like, what if 5 of us did that every day? What would that look like a year from now? Like if we wowed one person every day, each of the 5 of us, right? And we're going to work 240 days over the next year. Like we could wow 1,000 people. And just imagine like what kind of a culture could we build with this company if we had 1,000 people on the streets that every time they heard our name were like, those guys are amazing. Like they called me out of the blue. Still to this day.
I can tell you one of those guys, Novak wouldn't shut up about Active Rain.
Yeah, John Novak, totally. But to this day, I still like will bump into some of these people out at a conference or something like that, and they will be like, I remember when you called me that, and I'm like, I don't remember it, by the way,
right?
Because I was doing it every day and I did it for years. But
you left a legacy
implant on a lot of people, and it was just a micro decision. It came out of frustration, really. But it was something that I committed to doing, and I did it. And it took me 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, most days, right? Sometimes it'd take a half hour, but it was a 5 or 10 minute decision that compounded.
Absolutely. There's a statistic when I was pulling together information for this, since it was stuck in my head. There was a statistic I found, Bob. It said from the Harvard study of adult development, and they know what they're talking about over there, right? It said the number one predictor of long-term happiness and legacy is the strength of close relationships built on small, consistent interactions. And if you just chose every day to send a text message to somebody in your circle, if you just chose to send that thank you note every single day, that's a small micro decision to say, oh, I saw this on Facebook today, or Instagram or wherever, or I heard that, I'm going to send this person a note card, send this person a text, whatever it is. It's going to be a habit that outlives you. You'll probably catch other people doing it, and they'll always say, it's because of whomever that I'm doing this, creating that legacy for yourself, Bob.
I got one other one here in legacy because I had this conversation the other day on the way home from school with my boys. I had read something recently, Chad, that talked about, and I don't know, it was some university probably, and the study was on likability. Like, why do some people seem highly likable? They're like, they're the people magnet. They're, people tell them their stories the first time they're meeting them, right? And what the research uncovered is that people that are likable generally are the type of people that will ask a lot of questions of the people that they're around.
Yes.
And so I was having a conversation with my boys on the way home about being like popular in school. And one of my boys he's really kind, but he's also very quiet. And I can remember when we were in like kindergarten, I would walk him we'd come to the parking lot, and then I'd walk him up to the school, and we would walk by other kids, and they would say hi to Chase. Hi, Chase. Hi, Chase. Cause he's super nice. But he would not say hi back. And I'm like, that's so weird. And, over the years, he's just shy. He's not mean, right? He's shy, but he was starting to get in this position where he thought I don't really have a lot of friends, and he wants to be more popular out on the playground or whatever. And so we were talking just earlier this week, actually. And I was saying, Chase, here's what I want you to do. Each day, I want you to ask somebody on the playground a question about themselves. Let's just try it. Now, Chad, I'm going to have to report back to you how this works for him in, a series of micro decisions where he's deciding each day to try to learn something about one of his classmates. I'm like, Chase, I promise you, if you do this every day on the playground, just one kid, you ask them something about themselves, right? And we did a little bit of kind of role play. My wife's big on role playing with our boys. So I'm like, all right, like what would be a question, right? And he didn't have any. So I'm like, all right, here would be one, let's try that. What do you eat for breakfast at home before you come to school, right? Just like, it doesn't matter. It's just the act of showing interest in somebody else will make you interesting to people, right? And so I'll report back. I'll let you know how it goes out of the playground. Okay. But he's one of these kids. He's got one close friend, him and Eddie. They're thick as thieves. They run around all together, but he wants to be popular with the other kids. But I'm like, Chase, the reason you and Eddie are friends is because you ask him about himself. You care about, you know what's going on with him. Turn that outward, right? Like, turn that at just one a day. So we'll see what happens. But I don't have any question that if he does that, like, his likability will rise up with his peers, because we all want to be surrounded with people that seem like they're interested in us.
And then what's the ripple effect, right? He'll have more friends that come from that. It'll become a habit for him. Who knows down the road what opportunities are presented to him because of relationships he develops because he asked one simple question of somebody every single day. Folks, it's about the micro decisions you make. Okay. It's not the big decisions that lead you to success or failure. It's the micro decisions that lead to those small ripples that before you know it, define who you are and bring you the results you've been looking for. So we challenge you. Go pick one of the 4 areas. Maybe it's you'll drink water today instead of that soda or alcohol. Maybe you'll take $10 and just invest it in something, whether it's into the stock market, into an IRA, into whatever, right? Whether it's you'll recognize someone you lead publicly or even privately with that person, or maybe it's pick up the phone and call someone that matters to you or text someone that matters to you and just send them that message that says, thinking of you, what's going on? How can I help? Haven't talked in a bit, whatever that is. Those small micro decisions can change everything in your world. And depending which one you choose, could change everything in someone else's world. Challenge you to keep it going. We challenge you to improve by 1% every day, and we just gave you that 1%. Until our next episode, as always, do good.